Chapter 25-22. Except for his biological sister, Tangua, he would show the most innocent and cute smile. When it came to others, it was the kind of smile that was harmless to humans and animals. It was also a polite smile that was a little distant. 2 men and a young man sent Tangua to school just like that. When the 3 of them escorted Tangua into the dormitory, her roommates were stunned. This school was a film and television school, so those who could get into this school must be very good-looking, especially girls. Along the way, they were basically all handsome men and beautiful women. Even if their looks were not that outstanding, they would still dress up. Although there were many other majors, the overall appearance of the school was much better than that of other schools. It was not that the 3 roommates had never seen handsome men before, but Cui Taixin, Rong Su, and even the young Tang Lin made them stunned. When they saw the 3 of them smiling politely at them, they almost fainted. In the end, under the stunned gazes of her roommates, Tangua seemed to have lost the ability to take care of herself. She watched as Rong Su and the other 2 helped her make her bed and arrange her daily necessities. She took out her food and sat at the side to enjoy it with her roommates. In just a few minutes, they were chatting. "That youngest one is your biological brother. No wonder I found that you guys look a little alike. Your family's genes are really good. That best-looking one is your boyfriend, right?" A roommate gently pushed Tangua and teased, "Don't deny me. The eye contact between you guys can't fool my fiery eyes." When the 3 of them came in, only he glanced at us lightly, as if he was looking at 3 blocks of wood. After that, although he didn't look directly at you, I could feel that his gaze should have landed on you from the corner of his eyes, and he was paying attention to you at all times. Other than your boyfriend, it can't be anyone else. This roommate was talking about Rong Su. Tangua really didn't pay attention to this point. That slightly older male classmate, a roommate asked in a low voice, "Does he have a girlfriend? What kind of girl does he like?" "I think he's not bad-looking, handsome, and a little ruffian. Can we be friends?" The dormitory was so small that the 3 of them must have overheard their conversation. When Cui Taixin heard a girl praising him for his good looks and wanting to make friends with him, he raised his head and whistled at her. "Beauty, you have good taste." Just as Cui Taixin was about to say something, Rong Su hit him on the head. He jumped down and clutched his head. His little uncle had never changed his bad habit. He never gave him any face in front of outsiders. "But there's one thing you've guessed wrong. My uncle isn't little teacher's boyfriend yet. He's been in love with her openly and secretly for 3 years, but he's never confessed." "So, afraid that Rong Su would get angry," Cui Taixin quickly ran out. This was just a small interlude. After decorating the dormitory, Tangua followed him out of the dormitory. At this moment, Rong Su received a call. "What's wrong?" Tangua asked when she saw Rong Su frowning. Rong Su put down his phone. "It's a call from Taixin. He's probably afraid that I'll teach him a lesson, so he went to school first." After saying that, he smiled at Tang Lin. "Lin, I'll get the driver to send you to the airport. Aren't you still a little busy?" Chapter 25-23. "I'm not very busy. I want to stay here with my sister for 2 days. We can only see each other once a semester." Tang Lin pretended not to know anything. Don't think that he didn't know what this old piece of gum was up to. Rong Su refused to give up. "You're tired from the journey. You have to have a place to stay. Why don't I take you to the hotel first? You're still underage. Rest well. I'll call you out for dinner when it's time." If it weren't for this brat being a third wheel every time, he wouldn't have made any progress in 3 years. Tang Lin glanced at Rong Su from the corner of his eyes and then looked at Tangua, who definitely didn't object. Forget it, they were both people his sister liked anyway. He couldn't make things difficult for him. Although this piece of gum had been sticking to his sister, after 3 years of careful observation, he was sincere to his sister. He was different from those playboys who played with feelings. Now that he had grown up, he didn't have to worry about anything. If he dared to have a change of heart and bully his sister in the future, he would beat him up. Okay, then I'll go to the hotel first. Tang Lin deliberately yawned. Sister, I want to go to the hotel to sleep. Tang Guo pursed her lips and smiled. Go ahead. Tang Lin's eyes became resentful. Was it so straightforward? Sure enough, his sister was too outstanding. Everyone wanted to steal her attention. After Tang Lin left, Rong-su and Tang Guo slowly walked to the school gate. For a moment, Rong-su didn't know what to say. It was just that 3 years had exhausted all his patience. Every day, he faced this fresh and delicious girl. Countless times, he couldn't help but want to hold her little hand and change their relationship. Seeing that they were about to reach the school gate, Rong-su was about to say something when Tang Guo's phone rang. Brother Rong, I'll take this call. Rong-su maintained a smile on his face, but in his heart, he hated the person who called. Yes, I just arrived at school. What? You're at the school gate. Tang Guo was surprised. The person who called her was the third brother of the Yun family, Yun Zishu. Every holiday, she would send a text message to the Yun family to greet them. The Yun family had all responded to her. At first, they were more concerned about her and asked about her well-being. Duan Yuhong had also inadvertently seen the contents of the text messages between her and the Yun family. Knowing that the Yun family was paying attention to her, she didn't dare to act recklessly. In addition, after she had sowed discord in the beginning, Tang Lin became more and more rebellious as she grew older. She was not obedient at all and would often bicker with the two of them, causing Duan Yuhong to be mentally and physically exhausted. She did not have the heart to care about her at all. However, after Duan Yuhong lost her job in the hospital for some reason, the content of her text messages with the Yun family changed. In the beginning, he asked her about her well-being. Later, when she sent him holiday blessings and some words of concern, the other party's response was basically, "Thank you for your blessings." Okay, you too. Other than these brief and indifferent responses, there was no extra concern. At that time, she understood that under the care of the Yun family, Yun-yi must have opened up her heart and told the Yun family about what she had been through since she was a child. She told them about her experiences in the family Tang. The Yun family knew that she was doing well now, so they naturally felt more pity for Yun-yi. They felt that they owed Yun-yi too much. Every time he showed a little concern for someone who wasn't related to him by blood, it would mean that he owed their little princess, Yun-yi. Chapter 25-24. That was why their attitude was so cold. Only the third brother of the Yun family, Yun Zishu, was different. He was still the same as before. When he was not at the Yun family, he would still call her and ask about her situation. After finding out about Yun-yi's former living situation, he even secretly took the time to visit her. Speaking of which, after Duan Yuhong lost her job and became irritable, she still did not instigate Tang Liming to do anything to Tang Guo. It was only that time that Yun Zishu came to visit. Yun Zishu saw that she was indeed doing well, so he was relieved. Of course, he did not tell her about Yun-yi's experience in the Yun family. Instead, he asked her in detail about what happened after she came back. Tang Guo answered truthfully. Duan Yuhong and Tang Liming were afraid of the Yun family's existence, so they did not do anything to her. How could she hide it from Yun Zishu? She was not a fool. She could not hide her experiences and grievances. Someone had to understand and know. Who is it? Rong-su actually heard a man's voice on the phone, so he was very vigilant. When Tangua hung up the phone, he asked subconsciously, as if he was facing a great enemy. Tangua could not help but smile. It's third brother Yun. So it's him. The Yun family's base camp was the same as the Chui family's, in the city. The Rong family was different. The Rong family was in another very developed city, which was still very far away from here. Therefore, if he did not accidentally know Tangua, he would not have specially gone to find out about the Yun family. Third brother knows that I'm reporting to school today, so he came to school to look for me. He's at the school gate. Although Rong Su's face was as gentle and calm as the spring breeze, his heart was as flustered as a dog. Then I'll go with you. Okay. How could Tangua refuse? She knew Rong Su's character a little. From the corner of her eye, she saw that he was constantly rubbing the ring on his thumb. She knew that he was extremely nervous. Rong Su looked at Tangua's smile and his heart was filled with panic. Other than Yun Zishu, everyone in the Yun family was cold to her. He did not know what she thought of Yun Zishu. This really made him a little worried. Could it be that the young lady he fancied liked Yun Zishu? The more he thought about it, the more Rong Su frowned. He looked at Tangua's smiling face and asked, "You look very happy. Is it because of Yun Zishu?" "Yes." Tangua's straightforward answer made Rong Su panic. Could it be that she really liked Yun Zishu? Then what should he do? "System, young man, the image you've maintained for 3 years is about to collapse." He couldn't possibly force himself on her just because he didn't like her, right? He couldn't bear to hurt her even a little bit. When he thought of the little girl he had been guarding for 3 years having another man living in her heart, the corners of Rong Su's lips that he tried hard to maintain drooped a little. "Brother Rong, what's wrong? You don't look well. Are you sick? Do you want to go to the hospital?" Rong Su put away his emotions and forced himself to calm down. "It's nothing. Are you sure? I'm worried about you." Rong Su caught the keyword. "Are you worried about me?" "Of course." "System, sigh, you scared me again. The host is really bad." "It's okay, I'm fine." Rong Su reached out and touched her head. "I'm very healthy. Xiaogua, you don't have to worry." Chapter 25-25. That's good. If you're not feeling well, you must see a doctor in time. If you're sick, I'll be very worried. Rong Su's heart felt as if it was smeared with honey. He had forgotten the mess in his mind just now. It was not until he walked out of the school gate and saw the gentleman that Rong Su's good mood was ruined. He glanced at Tangua from the corner of his eye. When he saw Tangua looking up happily as she walked towards Yun Zishu, he quickly followed her footsteps as if he was protecting her and declaring his sovereignty. In Tangua's eyes, he was really childish and cute. When Yun Zishu saw Tangua, he was indeed very happy. However, when he saw Rong Su, his intuition told him that this man was not simple. When he saw the other party's protective look towards Tangua, the hostility in his eyes made him understand a little. "Congratulations, Xiaogua. Your wish has been fulfilled. You've been admitted to the school you like. You can fulfill your dream now." Yun Zishu was still the only one who came. Although he had secretly told the rest of the family about this news, he had hidden it from Yun Yi. However, the others did not plan to see Tangua. In fact, when Tangua was admitted to the school, she had already told everyone in the Yun family the good news. The response she received was only one short word: congratulations. She didn't care about their attitudes, but she had inherited all their feelings. She could feel the sadness of the original owner. No matter how outstanding she was, no matter how powerful she was, even if she wanted to walk towards the school that they had set their sights on, they couldn't move their hearts a bit. For a girl who was not even 20 years old, it was impossible for her not to feel sad. It could be said that her tragedy came from her pride and the Yun family's indifference. Thank you, third brother. Yun Zishu hesitated for a moment before saying, they're very busy. Third brother, you don't have to say anything. Tanghua had a faint smile on her face. I'm already very happy that third brother can come. This is a good result. At this point, everyone understood. Yun Zishu did not want to lie or hide anything anymore. It was impossible for her not to feel the attitude of her family. Yun Zishu smiled. No matter what, you can come to me if you have any problems. Thank you, third brother. Yun Zishu looked at the young lady who had already grown into a slender and elegant lady. Her appearance was undoubtedly very outstanding. A certain part of him suddenly throbbed. Soon, he felt a chill run down his spine when he was stared at by another pair of eyes that seemed to be warning him. He sighed in his heart. Even if he didn't treat her as his younger sister, because of Xiaoyi's existence, it was impossible for anything to happen between them. This is Rong Su. Rong Su directly said his name. Xiaoguo's good friend. It would be perfect if she could be turned into a man. How could Yun Zishu not see it, but this man didn't look like the kind of person who liked to back down. In the face of an enemy like him, she actually didn't directly declare her sovereignty. Instead, she only said that he was her good friend and used her eyes to warn him. This made him feel that it was somewhat interesting and also made him look at her in a new light. He was a man who liked Xiaoguo, but he would not forcefully announce his identity without her permission. Indeed, he left a good impression on her. So, does Xiaoguo like him? Yun Zishu subconsciously observed, and only then did he realize that Tanghua and Rong Su's gazes were subtle. Xiaoguo liked him. Chapter 25-26. He heard that if you liked someone, you would unknowingly move closer to them and leave your back to them. When Xiaoguo talked to him and when she talked to this man, it was obvious that she had a different attitude. Although they were both smiling, he could feel the slight difference between them. What do you want to eat? Third brother will treat you. You haven't been here for a long time. I remember you liked to eat before. Tanghua did not reject Yun Zishu, but she brought Rong Su along. Third brother and I have had the best relationship since we were young. Even though many things have happened, third brother is still my third brother. He is a very good person. He even came to see me before. I really have no regrets having such a good brother in this life. Rong Su understood, and so did Yun Zishu. His heart was a little sour. Xiaoguo was explaining his relationship with this man to prevent him from misunderstanding. Suppressing the sourness in his heart, Yun Zishu, Tanghua, and Rong Su had a meal. Rong Su's appetite was great and he ate a lot. Yun Zishu, on the other hand, could not eat. He only cared about chatting with Tanghua. After the meal, he left. He still told Tanghua that if there was anything, she could look for him. Tanghua would always answer, yes. However, she had never looked for him. He understood what she meant. She was afraid that he would be embarrassed and put in a difficult position. Therefore, she really treated him as her brother. He was disappointed, but also a little glad. Yun Zishu's appearance caused Rong Su to miss the opportunity to confess. He was not in a hurry now. After all, he guarded his little girl every day and would never let anyone steal her away. Tanghua, on the other hand, became busy. She was busy with professional classes and also busy playing extras. Of course, with her appearance, even if she was playing extras, she would still have more money than others. Some of the roles even had 2 lines and showed their faces for a long time. She did not intend to reach the sky in one step. Instead, she chose to take it step by step, following in the footsteps of the original owner to achieve her unfulfilled dream. Of course, it was not that she did not do anything else. For example, when she was free, she used the money she earned in the past 3 years to secretly buy a film and television culture company. In the future, she planned to sign with this company directly. She did not want to encounter unnecessary trouble. At the same time, she also asked the system to help her do a data analysis and invest in a lot of companies and films. On the surface, she was an ordinary student who was busy with her studies and minor roles. But in reality, the wealth in her hands had reached an astonishing amount. It only took 2 months. Because Tang Guo was good-looking, she was more professional than the others when it came to playing extras. Whether it was her acting skills or her appearance, she attracted some directors. Therefore, she got what she wanted. She no longer had to play a minor role and could get a small role booked by the director. After a semester, Tang Guo did not rely on any connections. Instead, she was recognized by some directors. Coupled with her acting skills, she became a third-rate actress. Although it was small, she had walked step by step without taking any shortcuts. It was because she didn't get close that she was so slow. If she got close to him and had the capital to support her, she might become a popular celebrity. But the original owner's wish was to become an actress. What she liked was to act and perform good works, not to become a famous star. When Tang Guo appeared on the screen as the third female lead, the first thing that many people saw was her beauty. This female star was really good-looking. After seeing her interpretation of the role, they were completely immersed in it. After watching it, they sighed and said, "This actress is really good. She looks very young." When the drama was broadcast, the Yun family was chatting in the living room. The face that suddenly appeared on the screen stunned them. Chapter 25-27. For a few minutes, no one in the Yun family spoke. For the past few years, they had subconsciously ignored Tang Guo because of Yun Yi's return and the sufferings they had suffered at family Tang. However, they still recognized that face clearly. Even if their attitude was cold and indifferent, she would still send them messages during the holidays to wish them well. When she achieved something, she would also send them messages. She didn't call them directly and had never come here to look for them in the past few years. In fact, they knew very well that the reason why she only sent messages and never did anything else was that she might have already known their intentions. They didn't know what she was thinking. They only thought of the sufferings Yun Yi had suffered in the past and couldn't face her. It was good to be unfamiliar with her, even if Yun Yi's sufferings at family Tang had nothing to do with her. Speaking of which, she was also a victim and was innocent. It was just that they couldn't treat her the same way as before. If they treated her slightly better, they would think of Yun Yi's silent and uneasy appearance at home when she had just been brought back. Later, when they learned the truth, they were even angrier. They only let Duan Yuhong lose her job, which was already benevolent of them. This was also because of her. If it weren't for her, they would never have let family Tang off so easily. But they really didn't expect that when they met again, she would appear on TV. In just a few minutes, she was able to portray a character so vividly that it was easy for her to bring people into it. They were also instantly immersed in the plot and only woke up when her face was no longer on the screen. In this big family, only Yun Zishu had a smile on her face. Her dream was slowly coming true. It could be seen that she was very talented in this area and worked very hard. They were really happy for her. Yun Zishu subconsciously looked in Yun Yi's direction. Now, Yun Yi was the little princess of the Yun family and was surrounded by everyone. She saw the thin girl sitting in the middle staring at the TV screen without blinking. Even though Tang Guo's face was no longer there, she still didn't look away. Even if the other members of the Yun family recognized Tang Guo and were happy to see her achievements, they tacitly agreed not to mention her in front of Yun Yi. However, Yuni had been staring at the TV the whole time, and they couldn't call her. That would make it seem like they were trying to hide something. Therefore, they could only choose to ignore it and pretend that they didn't see anything. The living room returned to its previous warm and harmonious state. At this moment, Yuni suddenly spoke up. She stared at the television and her bright eyes flashed. Dad, Mom, brother, I want to be an actress too. When the Yun family heard this, they looked at each other and didn't reply for a while. The first to speak was Yun Zishu. With a gentle smile, he asked, Xiaoyi, why do you suddenly want to be an actress? Yuni played with the doll in her hand. Don't you guys always say that I'm timid? Maybe if I become an actor and face the camera in the audience, I'll be bolder. Moreover, I also want to experience the feeling of standing in the center of the spotlight and being the center of attention. Not only do I want to be an actress, but I also want to win awards and become the pride of my parents. What? You don't believe that I can be an actress? Chapter 25-28. Seeing that they were in disbelief, she smiled innocently and said, I'm not joking. I really want to be an actress. I won't do it just because I'm the daughter of the Yun family. I'm serious. I want to fight for it with my own abilities. Father Yun and Mother Yun loved Yuni very much. No matter what she wanted, they would try their best to satisfy her. Their daughter just wanted to be an actress. Although the industry was very complicated and they didn't approve of it, it was her wish. Even if they didn't approve of it, they had to approve of it. Besides, the Yun family was protecting her from behind. Naturally, they had to satisfy her. Okay, Xiao Yi wants to be an actress. In a few days, we'll arrange for someone to help you change your major. What do you think? For the Yun family, these small matters were a piece of cake. Dad, Mom, there's no need to change my major. I like my current major very much. Yuni studied art. She liked to draw, so she chose this major. The school was in the city and it was a very good school. However, it wasn't in the city. It was a little further away. Okay, if you don't want to change your major, then don't change it. Our Xiao Yi wants to be a talented actress. I agree, Father Yun said with a smile. Maybe in the future, when our Xiao Yi goes on screen, she can show off her skills. Mother Yun also agreed. She thought that it was a good idea. They were already used to ignoring the other person because they didn't want to make Yuni feel uncomfortable. Yun Zishu wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't say anything. It was impossible to say that the reason why Yuni suddenly wanted to be an actress was because she saw Tang Guo appear on TV. However, he wasn't sure if Yuni wanted to prove that she was as good as Tang Guo or even better than her. Or did she have other intentions? He secretly prayed in his heart that there wouldn't be any conflicts between the two of them in the future. They weren't in the wrong. They shouldn't have any conflicts because of the family Tang couple. When Xiao Yi is free, you can come to Second Brothers Company to observe and see the lives of the actors. Second Brothers Company grooms many new artists every year, including boy and girl groups. There are also many amazing acting teachers in the company. If you have any questions, you can ask them. This was the second brother of the Yun family, Yun Zishan. He owned a film and television company. As soon as he opened his mouth, it meant that Yuni could be packaged well by the company and debut, saving a lot of unnecessary procedures. Also, if Xiaoyi takes a fancy to any role, I'll fight for it for you. Second brother, I don't know anything at the moment. Let's take it slow when it comes to accepting scripts and choosing roles. I want to study with the teachers for a while. Even if I'm protected by all of you, I can't become a vase who doesn't know anything and can do well in the circle. She didn't want to be a pretty face either. She wanted to be an actress with acting skills. She didn't want to be a pretty face who didn't know anything and was talked about behind her back just because she was the daughter of the Yun family. Alright, then I'll arrange for a few professional teachers to teach you when I go back. Let them teach you whatever you want to learn. When Xiaoyi feels that it's about time, she can choose a script and find a suitable time to debut. Chapter 25-29. Yun Zishan was thinking that if any good books appeared in the next few months, he would definitely give them to his sister first. As for everyone else, they would have to stand aside. Second brother, there's no need to be so anxious. I think it's better to take it slow. First, choose some small roles for me. Step by step, it'll be steady. The Yun family was very satisfied with Yun Yi's performance. They didn't mind supporting their little princess directly, but if their little princess was willing to work hard, the height she could reach in the future would be limitless. If she didn't work hard, even with their support, her achievements would be limited. Yun Zishu saw that everyone else was busy discussing how to make Yun Yi debut. It was as if they had forgotten the person who had appeared on the television screen earlier. He suddenly sighed. He took out his phone and looked at the text messages that Tanghua had sent him a few months ago. Even though he had told her many times that she could call him directly, she still only sent him text messages, as if she was afraid of disturbing him and making Yun Yi angry. As far as he knew, the rest of the family also knew about this text message. However, seeing their shocked expressions earlier, they probably didn't take it to heart. This text message was to tell them that she had accepted the role of the third female lead in a big production. At that time, he was quite happy. Although she didn't walk slowly, she wasn't fast either. Because of Yun Yi, he couldn't use the Yun family's resources to help her. Moreover, the Yun family's resources in the entertainment industry were basically in the hands of his second brother. Although his second brother was tall and burly, he looked a little simple and honest. If he really knew that he used the Yun family's resources to help Tanghua, he would definitely be angry. After all, the person who was in his second brother's hands now was Yun Yi. After a long time, Yun Zishu left the villa and found an opportunity to call Tanghua. When he heard the beautiful symphony on the other end, he was stunned. Are you outside? Yes, I'm eating in the dining room. It's so late. Third brother, you're still awake. Aren't you eating too? Yun Zishu smiled and asked, who are you eating with? Tanghua glanced at Rong Su. Although he didn't seem to care at all, his ears had been listening to her movements. She smiled. Brother Rong. It's really him. Third brother, you guessed it. Yun Zishu's heart ached. Other than him, I've never seen you eat with anyone else. I've also heard that you've rejected a lot of investors for a meal, which caused a lot of dissatisfaction. What's wrong? Is there any trouble? If you run into any trouble, you must give third brother a call. Don't stand on ceremony. Don't worry, third brother. I'm fine. Yun Zishu suddenly thought of Rong Su. Yes, with him around, what kind of trouble could she have? She liked Rong Su. Why did she come to look for a fake third brother like him? It was easy to get into trouble. Why bother? Xiaogua, congratulations. I saw the drama you acted in today. Yun Zishu thought of the role she had played and his heart ached. His eyes were still a little swollen. You acted very well. I was brought into it by you. Thank you for your praise, third brother. To be praised by third brother, it seems that my performance this time was not bad. Alright, you guys continue with your meal. I won't disturb you anymore. Yun Zishu had never thought of destroying anything or fighting for anything. Even if he tried to sabotage and fight for it, even if he won in the end, she would still be in a very awkward situation. Chapter 25-30. His family would probably be the first to jump out and disagree with it. In short, even if he was the third young master of the Yun family, he couldn't protect her. Most importantly, the person she liked wasn't him, so why should he persecute this relationship? Is it your third brother's call? Rong-su deliberately emphasized the word third brother. The people in the Yun family only care about you. Yes, third brother is nostalgic. Rong-su forked a piece of beef on the plate and put it into his mouth, chewing hard. It's so late, but he still didn't forget to call. He really cares about you. System, TSK, this jealousy is so strange. His character's setting is so broken that it can't be looked at anymore. I only have one brother. It's my fortune to be cared for by him. Rong-su couldn't even laugh. You're still calling me Brother Rong. Don't I care about you enough? Brother Rong. Rong-su sat up straight when he was suddenly addressed by Tanggua in such a serious and sweet voice. What's wrong? What's the matter? I didn't mean anything by it. I just wanted to remind you that Yun Zishu isn't the only one who cares about you. I know. Taishin cares about me too. Rong-su, what about him? Why was it only that brat? Had she forgotten that he was sitting in front of her? Taishin isn't the only one who cares about you. Rong-su reminded her crazily. He maintained a smile on his lips and tried his best to maintain his gentlemanly and indifferent image. There are many people who care about you and care about you. Protecting you, thinking about you, and thinking about you. Why couldn't they see him? Yes, I know. Shaolin is also very concerned about me. Yesterday, he even called me and said that he planned to skip a grade and came to my place earlier. Rong-su couldn't maintain his smile. Why did she remember the two brats but not him? My fans also care about me. Rong-su held the fork in his hand and smiled. He really wanted to fork all those eyesores away. Why did everyone have to fight to care about him and weaken his existence? System, if you keep teasing her, you won't be able to coax her later. Is that it? Rong-su couldn't laugh anymore. Yes. Hearing this, Rong-su immediately became serious. Who? It's so close. Of course, it's Brother Rong. Tanggua didn't tease Rong-su anymore. If she continued to tease him, she might not be able to coax him. Rong-su smiled again. I didn't dote on you for nothing. If you dare to forget me, I will be angry. How could I forget Brother Rong's existence? If it wasn't for your help, it wouldn't have gone so smoothly. Rong-su suddenly appeared and asked her to tutor Cui Taishin. If Cui Taishin became outstanding, the Cui family would definitely not be so peaceful and controlled by Cui Bing. Although he couldn't do anything to the Yun family, there shouldn't be anything wrong with helping Tai Axian get back on his feet and become outstanding, right? Speaking of which, this Cui Bing had hindered the original owner many times. The original owner didn't owe him anything. Although she didn't take any shortcuts since she started acting, she still encountered many people who harassed and threatened her. Even if she could solve these problems herself, it was undeniable that Rong-su had secretly helped her solve a lot of problems. How could she not appreciate his kindness? By the way, Brother Rong, did you want to be my brother just now? Chapter 25-31. Rong-su's intuition told him that there was a trap in this sentence. He chose not to make a sound and only looked at Tanggua in confusion, as if to ask, what do you mean? Brother Rong, do you really want to be my brother? Rong-su's heart was alarmed and he quickly denied it. No, I don't want to be your brother. If it was before, it would be more like adding a favor. Oh. Tanggua dragged out her tone. Earlier, you said that I called you Brother Rong and mentioned third brother. I thought you wanted to be my brother too. Of course not. Rong-su's face was full of smiles. He seemed to be facing Tanguo calmly, but in fact, he was panicking. Xiaogua, I don't want to be your brother at all. I think your third brother Yun Zishu is quite good. It's enough to have him as a brother. As the saying goes, contentment is a constant joy. I don't need too many brothers, as long as there's one who treats you well. System, ha 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 ha, but people are greedy. I used to have 3 brothers who doted on me, but now there's only one left. Tangua's regretful look made Rong-su feel embarrassed. He was really embarrassed for a moment. A thought flashed through his mind. Actually, it's not necessarily only your brother who dotes on you. Look, how much is that kid Taishin protecting you? And Shaolin, he's only in his teens, but he's already protecting you everywhere. At this point, Rong-su coughed lightly. And me? Don't I dote on you enough? Although I can't be your brother, Rong-su's heart was beating very fast. He didn't want to delay any longer. Seeing that the girl he was protecting was becoming more and more outstanding, if he didn't label her with his label, he didn't know how many wild wolves would covet her. But I can dote on you, pamper you, and treat you well with another identity. What identity? Since he had already said so much, Rong-su simply didn't hide it, even though he was still very nervous. He wasn't a fool. Tanguo had heard so much nonsense and was still so patient. She must have understood it very well in her heart. Those words from before were most likely to tease him. Thinking about it, other than the third brother of the Yun family and those 2 brats, she had never had a meal alone with any other members of the opposite sex. Moreover, she was busy with her studies and filming. Most of her remaining time was taken up by him. If he really didn't feel anything, then he would be the world's #1 fool. The young lady that he had been waiting for so many years actually had him in her heart. Boyfriend, future husband, is that okay? When Rong-su said this, he skillfully took out the ring. The ring was custom-made when she was 18 years old. She wore it every day so that she could confess to her when the right time came. At this time, the original symphony in the restaurant had also turned into a piano piece about love. The waiter even pushed a bunch of roses over. Those who had come for dinner all stood up and looked at them with blessing. Those who came here for dinner were either married couples, or prospective couples. They had witnessed such a scene many times, so this time, it was not specially arranged by Rong-su, but by the restaurant owner and these guests. The roses in the dining car were given to them by the boss. When Tanguo stretched out her finger, countless enthusiastic applause sounded. When Rong-su held that small hand, he felt that his world was complete. At this moment, the smile on Rong-su's face looked a little silly. Although it was the same smile, it was different from usual. If someone familiar with him looked at him, they would definitely be surprised. Chapter 25-32. President Rong. When Rong-su and Tanguo sat down to eat again, a voice suddenly sounded beside them. The 2 of them looked up and saw a middle-aged man standing there with a beautiful woman. Although the woman had taken good care of herself, it could still be vaguely seen that she should be close to 40 years old. So it's Director Ran. Rong-su looked at the middle-aged man for a while and came to a realization. Director Ran, are you eating with your wife? Yes, I didn't expect it to really be President Rong. When my wife mentioned it earlier, I thought I was mistaken. Ran Shu looked at Tanguo and was surprised. Wasn't this the 3rd female lead in that big production? Previously, he felt that this actress was not only spiritual, but also had a solid foundation. Although the other party was only the 3rd female lead in that drama, no one could hide her brilliance. If it weren't for the fact that she didn't have that many scenes, she might have directly surpassed the 2nd female lead. Congratulations, President Rong. However, he didn't expect that this actress actually knew Rong-soo. Seeing that Rong-soo was smiling like a fool just now, he must have been pursuing her for a long time, right? The two of them only met face to face and didn't talk much. Ran-shu was also very tactful. He knew that it wasn't good to disturb him at this time. He only said, "I'm preparing a movie. I'll talk to President Rong about the scheduling contract when I'm free." When Tangwa heard this, she instantly understood why Ran-shu was so attentive to Rong-soo. No matter how good your director was, you still had to call him father when you met the person in charge of the cinema chain. She knew that Rong-soo was definitely not simple. The entire Rong family was controlled by him. The Rong family's business involved all aspects, so she didn't pay too much attention to it. Anyway, she would know in the future. "Brother Rong, are you very familiar with Director Ran?" When Rong-soo heard this, Brother Rong, his heart was filled with joy. Finally, their relationship was closer. He didn't know when she would be able to call him hubby. Tangwa found that Rong-soo was actually smiling and absent-minded. It was very funny. Ahem. Rong-soo quickly woke up from his dream of a beautiful life. She had already become his girlfriend. It was only a matter of time before she became his wife. If he worked harder, he would definitely succeed soon. The Rong family has cinemas all over the country. Every time Director Ran released a new film, he would come to me to sign a contract. That Brother Rong is quite amazing. He actually made Director Ran bow down. Rong-soo was so happy that he almost couldn't find his bearings. "Xiaogua, do you want to act in Director Ran's movie? If you don't mind, I can help you get a role." "Brother Rong, are you looking down on me?" Without waiting for Rong-soo to speak, Tangwa continued, "Brother Rong, I appreciate your kindness, but I don't need your help now. If I need your help, I'll definitely look for you first." Rong-soo loved to hear these words and didn't mind at all. Not long after this incident, Rong-soo received a call from Tangwa one day and felt her joy. "What happened?" "Brother Rong, Director Ran took the initiative to contact me. Originally, he wanted me to audition for the role of the second female lead. Later, I even tried for the role of the first female lead. This role has been confirmed." In the original plot, Ran-shu had also looked for the original owner to play the role of the second female lead. After this drama, she became popular. Before she met Yun-yi, all the roles she played were the first female lead. Chapter 25-33. Congratulations, Xiaogua. He did not receive any calls from Ran-shu, nor did he take the initiative to mention it. Ran-shu letting Xiaogua play the female lead must be because of her ability. His little girl was indeed very powerful. No wonder that arrogant nephew of his could be tamed so obediently by her. He should find the time to inform his arrogant nephew that he should call her little aunt. Tangwa quickly joined the crew. The school knew that she had gotten the role of the female lead in Ran-shu's new movie, so they naturally gave her the greatest convenience. On the other hand, other than studying, Yun-yi was also taught by many professional teachers in Yun Zishan's company. All of his abilities were slowly improving. Until half a year later, Tangwa's big poster appeared in many public places. Even Yun-yi had to know about it. This is a newcomer who has come up in the past 2 years. To be honest, I think her acting skills are already at the pinnacle of perfection. Many veteran actors can't compare to her. This was the teacher of Yun-yi's acting class. She stared at the big poster for a long time. Then I must watch this movie. Take other people's strengths to make up for your own shortcomings. Xiao-yi, you're right. Moreover, I think there's something worth referencing about her. She's the same as you. She walked up step by step. I heard that in the beginning, she was just an extra. Yun-yi did not say anything else. She stared at the poster for a long time before saying, "Teacher Wu, why don't we end today's class here? I want to see her previous dramas. Whether it's an extra or something else, as long as she shows her face, I want to see it. So, can you help me find it? Okay, your classes have been too intense recently. It's good to watch some dramas and relax." For the past half a day, Yun-yi had been watching all the roles Tanggwa had played. "I misjudged her. She's just a talented actress," the teacher surnamed Wu said in surprise. "No wonder she went from an extra to the female lead so easily. Any actor with such talent will stand out sooner or later as long as there are no accidents. Moreover, she's really at the right time. Her acting skills are good, her appearance is outstanding, and she met director Ran Shu. This time, she's most likely going to be famous." When she heard that, she was about to blush. She pursed her lips and asked, "Teacher Wu, what is a talented actress?" Talented actors are geniuses among actors. They're the type who can do everything with just one thing. What other people spent 10 years to come up with could be achieved in a year, half a year, or even as short as a month. Moreover, this kind of actor is more intelligent and can bring a character to life, allowing the audience to instantly immerse themselves in the character. In that case, I can't compare to her. Wu Xingshi was stunned for a moment before he said, "Xiaoyi is also very outstanding and hardworking. I am very optimistic about your development in this circle. You won't lack resources in the future. It's only a matter of time before you become famous. So, I still have to be praised. Isn't it good to be praised? Xiaoyi, don't be so stubborn. The resources in your hands are also a part of your strength, right? Tanggwa was a talented actress. This was her own ability. You're the young lady of the Yun family. You're smart and talented. Plus, you're hardworking and have the resources in your hands. These are all your abilities. Compared to her, it was only right. Do you think this industry is so simple? How many talented people are buried because they don't have resources?" Yun-yi was stunned for a moment before she nodded. "Teacher Wu is right. The Yun family's resources are also a part of my strength." "That's right." Chapter 25-34. The Yun family realized that Yun-yi seemed to really like acting. Other than the necessary professional classes, she spent the rest of her time in the company learning from those teachers. There was almost no free time. They also advised Yun-yi not to be so tired and that everything could be done slowly. But Yun-yi only told them, "This is what I like to do. There's nothing tiring about it. I won't be tired doing what I like." Yun-yi did seem to like acting very much. The Yun family did not suspect anything. Seeing that she was working so hard and could not be dissuaded, they stopped trying and often took time to visit her at the company. Later, they simply bought 2 houses next to the company so that they could come back here after the family was done with work. Yun-yi did not have to rush to the company every day. Although it was not as comfortable as a big villa, they felt that it was better for the family to gather together every day and be able to pay attention to Yun-yi's situation at all times. Yun-yi was not unhappy about this at all. Currently, Yun-yi had been studying in the company for half a year. On the day Tanggwa's movie was released, she did not practice, which was rare. Instead, she went to watch a movie. She did not go with the Yun family. Instead, she went with the teacher surnamed Wu. Every member of the Yun family had their own things to do every day. It was impossible for them to pay attention to her situation all the time. At most, everyone would have dinner together after they were done with their work. During the weekend, when Yun-yi was still busy, they went to see her practicing seriously. Because of Yun-yi's hard work, the members of the Yun family all felt that when Yun-yi debuted, they must support their little princess without any hesitation. Otherwise, they would really be letting down her hard work and seriousness. Yoonhee went to the cinema with the teacher surnamed Woo in the morning. Because of director Ran Shu's reputation and the popularity that Tangwa had accumulated previously. There were also a few exciting clips that were released previously, so there were many people who came to watch the movie. At least, the movie she watched was full. Yoonhee sat in the best position to watch the movie and stared at the screen the entire time. At first, it was quiet, but in the middle, low sighs and exclamations could be heard. Later on, she noticed that many people had started to wipe their tears. After the movie, the audience left the theater. Yoonhee watched with tears in her eyes. Mr. Woo, she acted very well. Everyone cried. Mr. Woo looked at Yoonhee and saw that her eyes were slightly red. He smiled and said, "You're not in character anymore. Your eyes are as red as a rabbit's." Yoonhee lowered her head. After all, she acted well. Yeah, her acting is great. If nothing unexpected happens this year, I don't think there will be a better film than this one. Even among the veteran actors, I don't think they'll be able to find someone who can portray the role better than her. Teacher Woo, are you saying that she might become a movie queen with this movie? Although her experience is still shallow and she's only been in the industry for 2 years, it's not impossible. Anyway, in terms of acting, she has no problems at all. Not only was there no problem at all, she was simply unstoppable. If he didn't give her this title, he would be letting her and her character down. In fact, the teacher surnamed Woo was far more shocked than he appeared to be. However, she had long been used to controlling her emotions, which was why she appeared so indifferent. Besides, her current student was Yoonhee. She was very talented and had the resources of the Yoon family behind her. Chapter 25-35. Even if she debuted later than Tangwa, she had the resources and worked so hard. It was only a matter of time before she became famous. As long as she wanted and the Yoon family was willing to support her, she didn't need 2 years. 1 year was enough for her to become famous all over the country. Although she couldn't compare to Tangwa in terms of talent, she couldn't find anyone who was so talented and had such good resources. Therefore, she couldn't praise Tangwa too much, lest it hurt Yoonhee's confidence. But she couldn't belittle Tangwa either, because everyone had seen Tangwa's acting skills. This movie was directed by Ran Shu, so its reputation wouldn't be bad. In addition, the movie's theme was novel, and it matched the public's aesthetic standards. It also expressed a deeper meaning. The box office of this movie would definitely not be low. Xiao Yi, you've been studying for half a year. When do you plan to debut? This year or next year? Wait a little longer. I don't think it's enough. Yoonhee's thin face showed a smile. Anyway, I don't think I can compare to her. Her acting is too good. Even if I have the resources of the Yoon family, will the audience accept it if my acting skills aren't good enough? That's true. You're still young. Build the foundation first. When the foundation is solid, you can soar to the sky. You don't need 2 years. You only need 1 year to become famous all over the country. Which celebrity didn't know how to market? Those who relied on their acting skills to make a living either needed a long time or some luck. In this industry, there weren't many who were as talented and lucky as Tangwa. She had seen many talents buried in this industry. Talents who couldn't achieve their goals eventually became mediocre. It was a pity. But this was the world. Without luck and resources, one couldn't become famous. It was all fate. This wasn't a place where one could become famous just by working hard. It was very cruel. Do you want to rest for half a day? No, I'll go back and continue practicing. Actually, I was in the same year as her, Yoonhee said softly, and Mr. Wu understood something. She thought that it was because they were in the same year that Yuni started to compare. Seeing how capable and hardworking Tang Guo was, she worked even harder. Of course, she was happy that her student was so serious. With Yunyi's talent, she would definitely be famous in the future. She would have both the best actress and the best actress. In the future, when others asked about it, she would still be Yunyi's teacher. Of course, she would be in the limelight. Therefore, she did not have any objections and allowed Yunyi to continue learning. Yuni didn't really practice in the company every day. Occasionally, she would be taken out to participate in some offline performance activities. However, these events were not on TV. After all, it was not advisable to build a car behind closed doors. Training newcomers was what this company was best at. Now, I have to see you secretly. Rong-su was gratified and a little pitiful. He said with some sadness, maybe I'll have to make an appointment with your assistant in the future. Brother Rong, don't forget that you were the one who arranged for my assistant. Isn't it up to you to make an appointment or not? Besides, I'm not as busy as you think. I won't accept normal activities and advertisements. Although there are a few variety shows, I don't plan to accept them. Rong-su was surprised. Why? Xiaoguo can actually take on some jobs at this time. I'm thinking about the next script. I don't want to film those. I still prefer acting. Brother Rong, do you think that I'm in this industry to earn money and become famous? Wasn't it? Chapter 25-36. Rong-su first asked in his heart, but in the blink of an eye, he denied himself. It didn't seem like it. With her outstanding results, she could do anything. As long as she put in some effort, she would gain both fame and fortune. It was much better than being a star or actor. He remembered that Cui Taixin had complained to him that a funny mathematics professor seemed to have chosen Xiaoguo and intended to take Xiaoguo as a close student. In the end, she refused. That mathematics professor was a big shot who had received many achievements and awards. He must have found her talent in this area if he had taken a fancy to Xiaoguo. If she agreed, she might be able to stand on the stage of mathematics in the future. It was much better than being an actor or a star. She had chosen to refuse, which meant that she really wanted to act. Then Xiaoguo's dream is to act. Yes, my dream is to perfectly play one role after another and win the Best Actress award. Going on variety shows and shooting commercials is for fame and fortune. Although I'm not a very rich person, I don't lack money to spend, and I don't care about fame. This is my only hobby. System host, please check your conscience before saying that you're not a very rich person. Rong-su nodded, even if you don't have money, don't I still have it? Indeed, I don't need to risk my life to take on jobs for money. As for fame, it's fine if you like it. If you don't like it, you'll live happier if you don't chase after it. Brother Rong, are you asking me to help you manage your money? Xiaoguo, if you're willing, I'll transfer all the money I earn to your card in the future. Aren't you afraid that I'll run away with the money one day? Then you'll become a pauper. As long as I, Rong-su, am alive, it's money. Since it's on your card, I'm not afraid that you'll spend it. What's on your card is yours. You can spend it however you want. Rong-su paused. Besides, Xiaoguo won't run away with the money. Why? Tang Guo asked curiously. Rong-su's lips curled into a smile, because your heart is with me. When you weren't paying attention, I locked your heart away. Who taught you to say such mushy words? It's because I like you too much, so I always say things that even I find embarrassing. I don't see your face blushing, and I don't feel any shame from you. Tang Guo moved closer and carefully observed Rong-su's expression. She even touched his face with her hand. Brother Rong, your skin is good. She leaned closer and sniffed. It still smells good. Have you put on any skincare products? This time, Rong Su's ears turned red and he grabbed her small hand. Can't men use skincare products? Of course. No wonder you haven't changed much in the past few years. It turns out that you've secretly done some maintenance. Speaking of this, Rong Su sighed in his heart. How could he not do maintenance? That arrogant nephew of his kept saying that he was an old cow eating young grass. That stinky little brother of hers had called him an old sticky candy the moment he opened his mouth. Even if he was a little older than her, he couldn't lose in terms of face. He had to take good care of himself. Perhaps in a few decades, those two brats would be older than him. Let's see if they still dared to despise him for being old. A woman looks good for her lover, and I look good for you. Rong Su didn't let go of her hand. Instead, he placed it by his lips and kissed it. I don't want to age too quickly. I just want to grow old slowly with Xiao Guo. Chapter 25-37. Brother Rong, you've touched me. So, what do you mean? This person had become his girlfriend. He had held her small hand and even kissed her. Their relationship should be able to go further. While Rong Su was in a daze, Tang Guo leaned over and kissed his face. Rong Su only came back to his senses when she sat down opposite him. He looked up and saw Tang Guo looking at him with a smile. Let's eat. Xiao Guo, I was distracted just now. What's wrong? So, can you do what you did just now again? Tang Guo put a piece of food into her mouth and glanced at him. Brother Rong, what do you have? You can be more direct. What I mean is, kiss me again. If you think it's good, you can kiss me more. System, how shameless, this man. I've already eaten. Aren't you afraid that your face will be full of the smell of steak? It doesn't matter. I'm not that particular. Tang Guo saw Rong Su's eager look and couldn't bear to tease her anymore. She drank and ordered a glass of water. Rong Su had already squatted beside her and placed his hand on her leg with a solemn and serious look on his face. She held his face and kissed him many times like a dragonfly skimming the water. Are you satisfied? I'll never be satisfied with such a good thing. I'll kiss you next time when I'm hungry. Okay. Rong Su stood up and was about to turn back to his seat when he suddenly saw Ran Shu and his wife looking at him with an awkward expression and a smile on their faces. He nodded as if nothing had happened. Ran Shu also nodded uncomfortably. What a coincidence, CEO Rong. Director Ran brought Madam here for dinner again. Yes, CEO Rong and Xiao Tang have a very good relationship. Ran Shu's heart was like a fucking dog. Although he had some knowledge, he couldn't find a few words to describe his current feelings. He could only curse a few times in his heart. He really didn't realize that Rong Su was such a person. He only knew that if he met Rong Su in the business world, he wouldn't have a good ending. When this guy was sinister, he was indeed unstoppable. However, he did not expect Rong Su to be so shameless in front of his girlfriend. He even saw it. Oh my God, Rong Su actually asked his girlfriend for a kiss in public. He was really going to laugh to death. Unfortunately, this matter could not be shared with others. What are you spacing out for? I'm hungry. Mrs. Ran felt that Ran Shu had been absent-minded and had a strange smile on his face, so she quickly pinched him. Are you hungry? Then let's quickly take a seat. Really, how can I let my little darling starve? Stupid face, keep your voice down. We're outside and you're already so old. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? My dear, so what if I'm old? There are people who are more shameless than me. We are husband and wife. So what if we love each other a little? Ran Shu carefully pulled out the chair and let Mrs. Ran sit down. That loving look was definitely not fake. Although his voice was low, Rong Su still heard it. Was he scolding him or praising him? He took it as a compliment. Tanggua became really popular because of director Ran Shu's movie. The box office continued to increase and became the most popular movie in the past few years. At the same time, it was expected and unexpected. As expected, Ran Shu's movie would not be bad. What was unexpected was that the female lead was a newcomer who had just debuted. Her acting skills were perfect and she did not lose her spirit. Chapter 25-38. She had brought that character to life, causing the people who were watching the movie to unconsciously be immersed in it. All of them cried even harder as they left the scene. Even the big men's eyes were slightly red. In short, this movie no longer needed to be promoted. It only needed to be promoted on the internet. Very few people who went to watch it did not dislike it. This phenomenon was a good thing for Ran Shu and Tanggua. Especially Tanggua, she was discovered by more people. Just because of this movie, the number of fans increased to tens of millions during the screening period. All kinds of movie contracts, advertisements, and variety shows were thrown at her. So, she resolutely chose to sign a contract with the agency under her name. Her manager was one of the top managers in the agency. But, who would have thought, when this manager found out that the agency was going to assign Tanggua to her, she was also a little dumbfounded. Moreover, the orders given below were very strange. It was completely different from the previous requests. It was simply the opposite. There was only one meaning. They wanted her, the manager, to listen to Tanggua. She could do whatever she wanted, whether it was advertisements, scripts, or variety shows. It was best to discuss it with her and not act on her own. Moreover, the higher-ups said this to her in a very serious manner. At first, the manager guessed that Tanggua had some background, but later, she found out that other than reading scripts every day, she was watching those old actors' dramas or practicing. Also, the rest of the time was private. According to her, she was going to see her boyfriend. In any case, she couldn't guess. Moreover, her momentum was so strong now. If it were someone else, they would definitely choose 2 good variety shows and accept 1 or 2 advertisements for playing cards. Wouldn't it be great to have both fame and fortune and steadily appear in the eyes of the audience? But she didn't. Because of the requirements, the manager was very tactful and didn't do too much. Anyway, it was already a surprise for her to be able to take over such a popular person. She also had a temper and was easy to get along with. She felt that her life was quite comfortable. She didn't have any bad habits, had a good temper, didn't have any trouble, and didn't need the help of a team to promote her. It seemed not bad. Tanggua had a few more assistants by her side. Not only that, 2 of them were assistants in name, but they were actually female bodyguards hired by Rong Su. Knowing that he was worried, she was happy to accept it. Many people in the industry thought that Tanggua would take advantage of her popularity to accept all kinds of jobs. Unexpectedly, there was a lot of discussion about her outside. They watched and discussed the drama she had acted in before. Those new fans were in full swing every day. They thought that they had become fans of a treasure actress who was good-looking, had good acting skills, and didn't seem to have any dark history. They were overjoyed. Meanwhile, on Tanggua's side, she was quietly selecting a new script for the drama. She had said before that her goal was to act. She wanted to play every role well and win an award. As for accepting commercials and variety shows for fame and fortune, that was not part of her plan. The outside world had been talking about her and realized that the number of dramas she had acted in was pitifully small. Other than these dramas, there was basically no place for her to show her face. At this time, they suddenly heard that she had accepted a new script and was preparing to leave for the filming location. Her fans were eagerly waiting for her to post something. Even if that didn't work, it would be good to share some beautiful photos of herself. Chapter 2539. But she wasn't. Her entire Weibo was empty. Other than some necessary reposts, there was almost no original post. Then, the fans found that her signature was, "My dream is to act in a quiet and peaceful manner." Alright, Buddha is a little Buddha. Who asked them to like it? Although Tangwa didn't post anything, the fans still enthusiastically created a topic for her, #waiting for you to come back with a new drama ## in the wind and rain. Your little fans are waiting for you here #. She clearly didn't want to be on the trending list, but when Tangwa arrived at the filming location, she was actually on the trending list. It turned out that her little fans were unwilling to be left out and found a sense of existence for themselves. Tangwa looked at the trending list, took out her phone, and dialed a number. As soon as it rang, the phone was picked up. "Xiaogua. Are you done today?" "No, I'm halfway done." "Why are you suddenly free to call me?" Rong Su was a little surprised. She was a workaholic when she was busy. Today was a little strange. "I miss you." Rong Su was a little happy when he heard this. "Then I'll come and see you after I'm done." "Okay, I'll wait for you to come and see me." After Rong Su hung up the phone, he was so excited that he walked with the wind. Even in today's negotiation, he was not as aggressive as before, which made the other party heave a sigh of relief. President Rong seems to be in a good mood today. Maybe it has something to do with his girlfriend. Those who were familiar with Rong Su knew that he had a girlfriend who was an actress. After all, there were very few secrets in this industry. The system couldn't help it. "I'm in the middle of a post." The system glanced at the post. Alright, although the words were short and simple, at least it was a response. "Tangwa, wait for me to come back." Just these few words made those who liked her go crazy. Because the fans really didn't expect her to respond so seriously. The system looked at the happy faces of the fans and snorted in its heart. That was because these little fans didn't know the difference in treatment. If they knew that she called her boyfriend and said that she missed him and was waiting for him to come and see her, who knew if these fans would go crazy? Another year passed. The new drama that Tangwa had accepted had already finished filming, and the post-production was almost done. Currently, it was in the midst of publicity. This time, there wasn't much publicity. Based on the reputation of her previous movie, once the drama was promoted, it would be spread by countless fans. There was no need for extra publicity. The company did not deliberately help Tangwa create any hype. It was as if everything had become her signature, and her dream was to act quietly. This signature constantly told everyone that she was an actress, not a celebrity. As for Yun-Yi felt that she had learned enough and the Yun family felt that she was already perfect. Therefore, Yun Zishan was helping Yun-Yi and preparing her to debut in a strong way. There were several ways to debut. The most common way was to start as a cameo. The others were to debut as a singer, girl group, variety show, and various other programs. In the end, Yun Zishan chose for Yun-Yi to debut in a reality show. They thought that since Yun-Yi was talented, she should first show her face in the reality show to let the audience get to know her, let her build a good impression, and gain a wave of fans. Then, she would accept the script and act in it. Everything would come naturally. When Yun-Yi went to shoot the reality show, Tangwa's new drama happened to be aired. Chapter 2540. On the first day that Tangwa's new drama was broadcasted, the ratings exploded. especially her fans. When they found out that the drama was going to be broadcasted, they kept waiting. On the day that the drama was going to be broadcasted, fans were already waiting in front of the drama and their computers early in the morning. It was hard to imagine that there was someone that made them wait for an entire year. It was this person that made them like her for an entire year. Even though they didn't see her show her face once in a year, her Weibo status was pitifully low. But they just liked her. No one knew why. Even though she didn't have any other works, nor did she film any commercials or participate in any variety shows. Even her company didn't create any hype for her or by any trending searches. But because of the previous movie, she had already left a deep impression on the audience. During the filming of her new drama, she was sent to the trending searches by her fans several times. She clearly wasn't going for the popularity route. She had said that she would quietly practice her acting. But those fans who were left out couldn't accept the fact that the person they liked was unknown. Previously, after filming, Tanghua occasionally browsed through Weibo. When she saw the number of fans she had, she was a little surprised. Unknowingly, she actually had tens of millions of fans. This new drama took more than a year from filming to post-production. Under the current circumstances, the cost and time spent on it were quite large. The director of this drama was someone who was serious about making dramas. He happened to reach a consensus with Tanghua. She was also someone who wanted to act in dramas well. From the explosive viewership on the first day of broadcast to the next few days of broadcast, this drama finally won the approval of the audience without the painstaking efforts of the entire production team. It became a wonderful drama with a good reputation. Regardless of whether it was young, old, or young, they all squatted to watch it every day. A week later, the first episode of the reality show that Yoon-hee participated in was broadcasted. Yoon Ji-shan wanted to help Yoon-hee gain popularity, so he invested a lot in this reality show. Before it was broadcasted, he carried out a lot of publicity. It even appeared on the trending searches many times. Moreover, the people who participated in this reality show also appeared on the trending searches many times and created a lot of discussion. But Yoon Ji-shan knew that if the hype was too much, it would easily have a negative impact on the audience. So, when he created a topic and created hype, he didn't bring Yoon-hee into the picture. Even now, there was no news about Yoon-hee on any public platform. He was confident that as long as the audience watched this reality show, they would be convinced by his sister's charm. His sister's beauty must be discovered by the audience themselves, and not hyped up by them. Once it was over the top, it would easily cause disgust among passers-by. Therefore, in order to create popularity, he and the program would create all kinds of hype for the other members. Whether it was good or bad, as long as there were some scenes that could create a topic of discussion, they would deliberately edit them. In short, as long as one clicked on it, there would be all kinds of disputes. Especially in the reality show, some of the members were not very popular, but they were still quite famous. Therefore, after those clips were uploaded, it did indeed attract a lot of discussion and debate on the internet. Some were praised, some were scolded, and some were attacked personally. After all, netizens were the easiest to control. Chapter 2541. As long as they created a little conflict, they would be able to make the former believe them. Only a small portion of them would be able to remain sober. The main content of the variety show that Yoon-hee was participating in was to experience life in the countryside for 33 days. During this time, the participants had to live and eat with the villagers. They couldn't just eat and drink for free, they had to use their own hard work in exchange. No matter what happened behind the scenes, at least in front of the camera, it had to be like this. Recently, there weren't many reality shows that appeared on the show. Because of the intense publicity, many people were looking forward to this show. After all, this was a show that Yoon Shan had specially prepared for Yoon. Just from the quality of the show alone, it couldn't be too bad. On the day of the show's broadcast, the reality show attracted a lot of viewers. As this reality show was broadcast twice a week on Saturdays and Sundays, it didn't clash with Tangwa's drama. As a result, there wasn't much conflict between the two. When watching reality shows, the audience simply wanted to see what was different about these celebrities living in the countryside. When watching drama shows, the audience focused on the storyline. It was a test of the actors' acting skills and their knowledge of the lines. In order to make a drama perfect, many actors' lines would be completed by a voice actor. However, Tangwa had never been this way. From the time she was an extra, all her roles, even if it wasn't recorded live, were all completed by her in post-production. In the past, there was a director who wanted to hire a voice actor. But after hearing Yoon's own voice acting, he gave up on the idea. This was because the director couldn't guarantee that the voice actor he hired would be better than Yoon's. There were still a lot of people discussing Tangwa's drama online. But, unknowingly, many people discovered the name of a newcomer. This name was naturally Yoon. In the reality show that was about experiencing life in the countryside, many of the celebrities made a lot of jokes. Because of their performance, some were scolded, while others were praised. In short, there was a lot of controversy. In this life, Yoon's performance was like a clear stream in front of the audience. This was because from the moment they walked into the countryside, they noticed that this well-behaved girl was different from the other celebrities. The other artistes were disdainful of the bumpy ground, but she steadily walked over without any hesitation. The other artists pointed at some farm tools that they didn't recognize in surprise and confusion. She would either stand by the side with a faint smile, or tell them the names and uses of these farm tools. The others looked at the stoves and pots used in the countryside and felt a little helpless. But when it came to cooking, Yoon was able to use them easily and skillfully. When she was asked, she did not hide it and said that she had lived in the countryside before. To her, not only had she lived before, but she had also been tortured by these things. Of course, she was very familiar with them. Yoon Shan didn't create any topics for Yoon on the internet, but after the first and second episodes were broadcasted, those who watched the show would automatically become fans of Yoon, who was elegant and refined. She was not pretentious at all. She knew farm tools, knew how to use them, and could cook delicious food. Even so, there was not the slightest bit of rustic aura on her body. In the words of many people, even if she wore plain clothes and used farm tools, she still looked incomparably elegant and had a different kind of temperament. Chapter 2542. Just as Yoon Shan thought, many people seemed to have discovered a mysterious treasure and became fans of Yoon without hesitation. After gaining a lot of fans in Yoon Shan got the public relations team to secretly give them a push. Of course, he still didn't openly promote Yoon's image. If the hype was too strong, it would easily have a negative impact on Yoon. He wanted all of this to happen naturally so that Yoon would unknowingly become fans of countless people. After only 2 episodes, Yoon gained hundreds of thousands of fans. When she saw this result, she was a little satisfied. Previously, she focused on her studies. Other than watching Tangwa's dramas, she rarely paid attention to things on the internet. In addition, it's already been a year since Tangwa's last movie. She's already watched all her previous movies over and over again, so there's nothing left to watch. Tangwa didn't have any jobs. She didn't take any commercials or variety shows. As for the fans who helped Tangwa become a hot topic, she didn't pay attention to it. This time, seeing that she had gained so many fans, she subconsciously searched for Tangwa's account. As soon as it popped up, she saw Tangwa's Weibo. The following showed the number of followers she had. It was more than 20 million. After being stunned for a while, Yoon closed the page and didn't look at the comments left by the fans on Weibo. On this day, Tangwa attended the film festival for the first time. This time, the film festival was live-streamed online. It was Saturday night. It happened to be the third episode of the reality show. Fans knew that to see Tangwa live, they were either in front of their computers or holding their phones and waiting. Although the film festival and reality show could be watched and replayed, in the end, many people chose to watch the film festival first before watching the reality show. It wasn't because of Tangwa, but because there would be many celebrities at the film festival. If they missed this time, they would have to wait for a long time. On this day, Tangwa dressed up and attended. The dress was custom-made by Rong-soo himself. It wasn't for any brand. Translator, Henyi Translations Editor, Henyi Translations. When the host announced that Tangwa had won the Best Actress award for her role in the film directed by Ran Shu, countless people were excited. At that time, when Tangwa walked onto the stage in a simple and elegant aqua blue gown to receive the award, the fans sitting in front of their computers were even more excited. Her character on the screen was not glamorous. It was rare to see her dressed up. As a fan, there was no one who was not excited. They did not forget to take a screenshot. Almost every screenshot could be used as a screensaver. What they were looking forward to was the screenshots of the official recording of the event. They believed that the screenshots would look even better. That night, Yoon didn't watch her reality show. She had intended to watch it, but then she accidentally saw a trending topic on Weibo. It was about the film festival. She then saw that many people were discussing Tangwa's invitation to the film festival. It reminded her of Mr. Wu's evaluation of Tangwa's acting skills. When she heard that Tangwa had won the Best Actress award and saw her walk onto the stage, she turned off the screen. She picked up the script given to her by the reality show. Although she didn't follow the script most of the time, she still read it. Chapter 2543. So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm going to do something rude. Lick the screen, I'm going to lick it. On the second day of the film festival, photos of Tangwa in her evening gown were released. Again, they were not released by the company. Instead, they were released by the reporters who went to the venue and the organizers of the film festival. Of course, the most exciting thing was that she won the Best Actress award in her first movie. Although she did not deliberately go to the trending searches, she still made it. In the past, there were celebrities who won the Best Actress award in their first movie. It was not rare. However, there was almost no one like Tangwa in the entertainment industry. Every year, she would star in a movie or a TV series. She would act seriously without any announcements or variety shows. Moreover, with her identity and whereabouts, even the best paparazzi would have a hard time capturing her whereabouts. Even if they took photos, they would be intercepted before they were released. It was either Rong-soo or the system who found out. Tangwa asked the company to send people to stop them. There were many discussions on the internet about Tangwa, who won the Best Actress award at such a young age. Because she won the Best Actress award at the film festival, the ratings of the drama that Tangwa acted in increased again. Tangwa did not forget to send a message to the Yoon family. The message she sent was very simple. She only told them that she was very happy to win the Best Actress award and thanked them in the end. As for whether they responded or not, it was their business. When the Yoon family received the news, they were all at home. Because Yoon had been in the countryside and the reality show was not finished filming, even if she did not stay in the countryside, she would stay in a hotel not far from the countryside. Therefore, they did not care so much. Last night, Yoon Zishu sat in front of his computer and watched the entire film festival. When he received the news, he was very happy. Yun-yi was not around, so he called Tangguo on the spot. Third brother. Xiaoguo, congratulations. Your dream has come true. Thank you, third brother, but my dream has not come true yet. Didn't you become the Best Actress award? You still haven't taken the Best Actress award. After Yun Zishu heard the video, he couldn't help but laugh heartily. He said somewhat intimately, "What a greedy little girl. I've watched your new drama. You acted very well. Xiaoguo, you'll definitely win the Best Actress award with this drama. So, your dream will soon be fully realized." Third brother, my dream is to act. Winning these awards is just a side benefit. Every day that I live, my dream is to be a good actor. I won't stop until I reach the end of my life. My dreams won't come true. Yun Zishu was stunned when he heard that. Then, he laughed, "So this is your dream scolding?" "Yeah, that's my dream. In this industry, I only want to act and nothing else. You will realize this lifelong dream. Thank you for your kind words. I think I did a good job too." Tangguo paused and asked, "Did you scold her after lunch?" "Not yet. I'll eat it soon. Then I'll hang up first. Brother Rong has been waiting for a long time." "Okay." When Yun Zishu was on the phone, the Yun family was listening. For some reason, he even turned on the loudspeaker so that they could hear Tangguo's voice. Chapter 2544. When he hung up the phone, he still felt a little lost. He stared at the locked screen of his phone. He didn't know when he had changed the lock screen to a photo of her. From the photo of her when she was young to the photo of her wearing a blue evening gown yesterday. Yun Zishu felt the others' gazes and looked up at them. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. It was Mother Yun who spoke first. "Zishu, do you contact Xiaoguo often?" "Yes." Yun Zishu nodded. He didn't want to hide the fact that he contacted Tangguo from his family. Mother Yun sighed. "How is she now?" "She probably blames us for being cold." "Is Xiaoguo that kind of person?" Yun Zishu couldn't help it. "If she really blames us, will she still care about me? Will she send us messages to wish us well during the holidays?" "She has never missed a single one." Mother Yun thought for a moment and felt that it seemed to be the case. After all, they had lived together for 16 years. Now that she thought about it, she felt a little guilty. "She has never come to look for us." "Mom, with our attitude, would she still dare to look for us?" "If I hadn't taken the initiative to contact her and call her occasionally, she might not have come to look for me. Even if I had asked her countless times to look for me if she had any difficulties, she would always agree. But no matter what problems she encountered, she would solve them herself. She has never looked for us. She knows very well in her heart." Father Yun was also a little hesitant. After all, she was his daughter whom he had doted on for 16 years. It would be a lie to say that he didn't miss her at all. It was just that every time he thought of how Yun-yi had suffered in the family Tang, he was very angry. They had treated Tangguo like the apple of their eye, but the family Tang people treated his precious daughter like that. How could he not be angry? "Why don't we arrange a time to have a meal together?" Now that he mentioned it, Mother Yun missed her even more. The Yun family members looked at each other and were very silent. They didn't object, which meant that they agreed with this idea. "I think it's a good idea. Xiaoyi has been filming a reality show recently. I haven't seen Xiaoguo in a long time." This time, the one who spoke was Yun Zishan. Yun-yi was his biological sister, but Tangguo was not related to him by blood. It was impossible for him to say that he didn't miss her at all. However, comparing the two, his biological sister was definitely more important. Tang Guo was having lunch with Rong Su. Today, they were not eating outside, but at Rong Su's house, where he personally cooked. She, on the other hand, stood at the entrance of the kitchen and watched him busy himself. "Brother Rong, I didn't expect you to know how to cook. Are you surprised?" Rong Su turned around and smiled at her. "Before I met you, I didn't cook. So you knew how to do it after knowing me?" "Still not." Rong Su's lips curled up slightly. "After you became my girlfriend, I specifically went to learn." "Really?" "I will lie to you." "No." Tang Guo was curious. "When did you learn it?" "When you were filming, the company was busy. It was impossible for you to leave for 2 to 3 days, but occasionally, you would still have half a day. Since I couldn't see Xiaoguo, I could only ask the chef to teach me how to cook to relieve my lovesickness." "You can do anything, but why do you have to learn how to cook? Can't you look at photos to relieve your lovesickness?" "Lin Lin told me before that your cooking skills were terrible and that you might not even be able to learn. I thought about it carefully. If you don't know how to cook, I won't know how to cook either. Won't I starve to death in the future? If you can't learn, then I'll learn." Chapter 2545. Tang Guo remembered that in order to torment Duan Yuhong, she had deliberately behaved badly. It seemed that Tang Lin had seen it. She didn't expect this kid to tell Rong Su about her. Tang Guo didn't know that when Tang Lin and Rong Su talked about this, they weren't teasing her. That exchange was because Tang Lin found out about Tang Guo and Rong Su's official relationship. One day, he had a private call with Rong Su. Tang Lin said, "All right, since my sister likes you, I have no objections. As long as you don't make any mistakes, you'll be my brother-in-law from now on. However, there's one thing I need to tell you. My sister doesn't know how to cook. I'll have to trouble my future brother-in-law with this matter in the future. I'll have to trouble you to take good care of my sister. If I find out that you don't treat her well, I'll secretly take her away." In the face of his future brother-in-law's warning, of course, Rong Su listened carefully and expressed that he would do the cooking. Rong Su recalled what had happened previously and couldn't help but smile. That kid Tang Lin wasn't simple. He was extremely scheming. After the two of them enjoyed a delicious lunch, Tang Guo received a call from Yun Zishu. After hanging up the phone, Rong Su asked with some jealousy, "Why did your third brother call again?" "He said that the Yun family proposed to have a gathering with me for a meal and asked when I would be free." Tang Guo answered truthfully and ignored Rong Su's jealousy. He understood that she didn't have anything to do with Yun Zishu and that the jealousy would disappear in a while. Sure enough, Rong Su's jealousy disappeared and he narrowed his eyes. "Why did he suddenly want to meet you and have a meal with you? Haven't he been avoiding you all these years?" He had a good impression of Yun Zishu. Other than the way he looked at Xiaoguo, there was nothing wrong with him. As for the rest of the Yun family, he didn't like them that much. "Did you agree?" "Yes, the time is this Friday night." After all, everyone was busy and it just so happened that Friday afternoon was more free. Actually, Tang Guo wasn't that busy, but now she had to start choosing the next drama to film. As for whether it would be a movie or a TV series, it was still uncertain. In short, she would only take on 2 dramas a year at most. She wouldn't take on any more. If it wasn't suitable, she would only take on 1 or none at all. Sometimes, if the role was really good, even if it was a supporting role or a cameo, she would consider it. In any case, she could do whatever she wanted. Rong Su heard this and did not say anything more. He respected whatever decision she made. With him around, she wasn't afraid that the Yun family would bully her. Do you plan to take on movies or TV series next? I'm not sure yet. I'll go back and read the script tomorrow. Rong-soo suddenly hugged her waist and rubbed against her neck. Get someone to bring the scripts over to read. I happen to be on vacation recently, okay? Tangwa smiled and touched the back of Rong-soo's head. Brother Rong, are you acting coquettishly with me? If others find out, they will laugh at you. Can't I act like a spoiled child with my girlfriend? Xiaogua, do you know how old Ran Shu is? He's 48 this year and will be 50 in 2 years. He often acts coquettishly with his wife, but no one laughs at him. If Director Ran knew that you were ridiculing him behind his back, he would be angry with you. Rong-soo stood up and held Tangwa's small hand. He said confidently, no, he still has a movie to sign with me this year. If he provokes me, the cinemas under the Rong family's name won't screen his movie. For me, it's just a small loss. I don't rely on this to make money. For Ran Shu, he'll lose a lot. Then Director Ran is so pitiful. Xiaogua, you should say that your brother Rong is really amazing. Okay, Brother Rong, you're really amazing. Not sincere. My brother Rong, you're really amazing. System, I really can't stand it anymore. On Friday morning, Tangguo remembered that she was going to have dinner with the Yun family in the evening. She didn't do anything else and prepared well. The Yun family was also nervously preparing and looking forward to this meeting. However, what they didn't expect was that at noon, Yun-yi came back. Seeing Yun-yi suddenly come back, the whole family was caught off guard. Xiao-yi, why are you back? Yun-yi didn't see anything and quickly walked to Mother Yun and Father Yun. I miss Mom and Dad. I've been away for a long time and wanted to come back and see them. You little girl, if you miss us, just give us a call. I'll get someone to pick you up. I want to give Mom and Dad a surprise. When Yun Zishu saw all this, his eyes dimmed. He probably couldn't eat this meal. Chapter 2546. Hey, Dad, Mom, do you guys look like you're preparing to go out? At this moment, Yuni finally realized that something was wrong. Everyone in this family was neatly dressed. Usually, on Friday, everyone was almost busy. Wasn't it time to rest at home? The Yun family members looked at each other. Yun Zishan was the first to react. We were planning to go out for dinner. Yeah, we were planning to go out for dinner, Mother Yun said with a smile. Mother Yun also said with a smile. In fact, she was a little nervous. She really wanted to see Tanggua and was looking forward to today's reunion. However, in front of her own daughter, no one could compare to her. They definitely couldn't let Yuni know that they were going to see Tanggua. If she found out, she would probably be very sad. We were planning to go out for dinner, but now that you're back and gave us a surprise, we won't go out, Father Yun added. At the same time, he thought to himself that he would ask Yun Zishu to give Tanggua a call to inform her that something came up today and they couldn't go over. They would arrange a time another day when they were free. Although they felt a little apologetic in front of their daughter, this family's choice was very consistent. They couldn't neglect their little princess because of Tanggua. Then, have you booked a place? If you have, let's go over directly. It shouldn't be a problem to add me, right? The Yun family members looked at each other. Seeing how happy Yun-yi was, they couldn't lie and say that they didn't book a place. Even if they said that they didn't book a place, Yun-yi probably wouldn't believe them. Their family wasn't going to a normal restaurant. It was impossible that they didn't book a place in advance. In the end, the family decided to bring Yun-yi out for dinner. Yun Zishu sat at the side and watched Yun-yi interact with her family. Her family members, who were still a little nervous about meeting Tanggua, were now happy and harmonious with Yun-yi. Yun-yi was his sister, so of course he loved her. But Xiaoguo was also his sister. She had lived in this family for 16 years. Could it be that these 16 years were really a blank space to them? For Yun-yi, they wouldn't see her for the rest of their lives. Did they break their promise because of Yun-yi? Zishu, what were you thinking about previously? Yun Zishu had already walked upstairs and was about to return to his room to inform Tangguo about this matter. Otherwise, it would be awkward if they met. Unexpectedly, just as she was about to enter the room, she was stopped by the eldest brother of the Yun family, Yun Zimo. The Yun family had 3 sons. The youngest son was gentle like jade, the second son had a straightforward temper, and the eldest son was mature and steady. He was the most suitable to inherit the Yun family business. Usually, Yun Zimo was a man of few words, but he still doted on his younger sister, Yun-yi. Before he found out about that incident, he had doted on his younger sister, Tangguo. So it's big brother. Yun Zishu smiled with a hint of sadness. I'm just a little regretful that it won't be so easy to find an opportunity to have a meal with Xiaoguo in the future. How can that be? There's plenty of time to eat. If we want to get together, we'll find some time. Yun Zimo pondered for a moment. Are you feeling indignant for Xiaoguo? Zishu, Xiaoyi suddenly came back today. We can't go over no matter what. You have to understand. If Xiaoyi knows about this, she'll be sad. If Xiaoguo knows about this, she'll be sad too, big brother. Chapter 2547. Yun Zimo was silent for a moment before he said, if you don't tell her about this, she won't know. Give her a call and tell her that there's a temporary situation at the Yun family's company and we need to resolve it. We'll meet her another day. She won't know. Yun Zimo looked at Yun Zishu steadily. As long as you don't tell her. Big brother, Yun Zishu opened his mouth, but he did not know what to say. Okay, I'll inform her. It's just that she's a busy person now. When we have time in the future, she might come. Actually, I think that if you guys really care so much, next time you haven't thought it through, it's better not to talk about getting together with her. If Xiaoyi suddenly comes back, you'll definitely change your mind at the last minute. Zishu, Xiaoyi is our biological sister. She suffered a lot in the past. You're her third brother, so you should treat her well. Xiaoyi is my sister. Xiaoguo is also my sister. She even lived with us for 16 years. Big brother, she wasn't the one who hurt Xiaoyi. She shouldn't have to bear all of this. Speaking of which, I really shouldn't have helped you guys call her to ask her out for a gathering. Forget it, I'll inform her this time. The next time you guys want to see her, don't ask me to call her again. I don't want to lose this sister. Although you guys don't care, I do. Yun Zishu walked into the room and called Tangguo. The person who received the call was Rong Su. At that time, Tangguo was doing her hair at the barber shop. Rong Su's phone and bag were both in his hands. When he heard the phone ring, he saw that the caller ID was Yun Zishu again. Under Tangguo's signal, he picked it up directly. However, before he could say anything, the smile on Rong Su's face disappeared. He only said 3 words throughout the entire process. Got it. After hanging up the phone, Tangguo felt that Rong Su was not very happy. However, it was not convenient now. After her hair was done, Rong Su put on her hat and held her little hand as they walked out of the barber shop. What did third brother say just now? Why does his expression look so bad? In fact, Tangguo had already guessed that something might have happened at today's gathering. This could only be because the Yun family had something to do and could not come. They said that the Yun family's company had a temporary situation and that they would like to meet another day. Hearing this, Tanggua chuckled. Brother Rong, do you believe me? I don't believe you. I just asked the assistant. The Yun family's company is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Rong Su was a little angry and hugged her tightly again. The next time they ask you out, just say that you're busy. My Xiaogua time is so precious, it's not something they can meet whenever they want. Who do you think you are to stand me up after making an appointment? What Rong Su did not say was that he had asked his assistant to investigate what had happened to the Yun family. Just now, he received news that Yun Yi, who had gone to shoot a reality show, had suddenly returned. Then, the Yun family must have stood her up because of Yun Yi. Alright, Brother Rong, don't be angry. It's fine if they don't have time, but isn't it enough to have you? The food in that restaurant is not bad. Let's go and eat. Rong Su nodded and was no longer angry. He observed Tanggua's expression. Indeed, he could not see any unhappiness on her face. His heart relaxed. Since she was not unhappy and wanted to eat, he would definitely take her there. Although the restaurant had to be booked in advance, some people could cut the line. For example, him. Rong Su made a call to the restaurant in front of Tanggua. Chapter 2548. I want the best seat and I'll bring my girlfriend to dinner. Okay, President Rong. I'll arrange it for you right away. After hanging up the phone, Rong Su saw Tanggua looking at him with a smile. She even said to him, Brother Rong, you looked so cool just now. If Xiaoguo likes it, I'll perform for you every day. Most of these high-end restaurants have given me a Supreme membership card, so I can book a seat at any time. System, I think I'm seeing a tail wagging high. In the afternoon, Rong Su accompanied Tanggua to the mall to shop. When it was almost time for dinner, the two of them went to the restaurant to eat. Nothing special happened along the way, and the two of them enjoyed a delicious dinner. However, when they were about to leave, they happened to meet the Yun family, who were smiling and looked very warm. Yuni walked in the middle of Father Yun and Mother Yun, holding each of them. The three brothers of the Yun family were behind the three of them. The place where the two of them met was a small aisle in the restaurant. Even though Tanggua was wearing a cap and a silk scarf, when she saw the Yun family, she subconsciously raised her head and the other party naturally saw her face. To be honest, she was a little surprised to see them here. After all, if Yuni really made them miss their appointment with her, they should not come to this restaurant again just in case. She really did not expect the Yun family to be so bold, or did they not put her in their eyes? Yun Zishu also saw Tanggua at first glance, and his expression changed. He pursed his lips lightly and clenched his fists tightly. After today, the Yun family would not be able to lower their face to talk to her anymore. Father Yun and Mother Yun were indeed very embarrassed. How would they know that Tanggua would come here to eat? If they had known, they would have asked someone to book another place. Yun Zimo's face was usually cold and there was basically no change. Yun Zishan couldn't laugh even if he wanted to. These people weren't fools. They also understood that after today, their fate was completely over. Uncle Yun, Aunt Yun, Brother Yun, second brother, third brother, and Miss Yun, what a coincidence. Are you guys eating here too? It was Tanggua who spoke first. She was not embarrassed at all. Why was she embarrassed? Shouldn't these people be the ones feeling awkward? Therefore, she greeted them very calmly, and no one could tell that there was anything unusual about her. Yes, yes. Father Yun and Mother Yun looked at each other, and the awkwardness on their faces didn't fade away. Huh, what a coincidence. You're here too. Yun Zishan laughed, then it must be fate. Yuni didn't say anything, but her eyes were fixed on Tanggua. Yun Zishu wanted to say something to Tanggua, but in this situation, nothing he said or did would be good, so he could only remain silent. It's getting late. I still have a script to read tomorrow, so I'll be leaving first. All right. Go ahead. The abnormally awkward meeting ended in such a situation. The Yun family watched as Tanggua and Rong-su left. In the dining room, they watched Rong-su tidy up Tanggua's hat and scarf, covering her entire face. After that, the two figures completely disappeared. They also went back. Because Yun-yi was there, they didn't discuss this matter. The next day, Yun-yi returned to the countryside to continue filming the reality show. Chapter 2549. The Yun family came back at night and sat up to talk about the meeting with Tanggua last night. Zishu, have you called Xiaogua? Father Yun asked. Yun Zishu's attitude was not very good. No, do I still have the face to call her? What should I say to her? I'm really sorry. It's just that because Xiao Yi came back, we couldn't ignore her, so we had to stand her up. We were afraid that she would mind, so we lied that there was a problem with the company. Instead, we went to accompany Xiao Yi for dinner. Father Yun's face turned ugly. He was a little angry, but he couldn't vent it out. Xiaogua must be angry. Mother Yun said with a bitter face, if I had known, would have changed places yesterday. Why didn't I think of it before and insist on going to that place? Why don't we ask Xiaogua out tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, we'll go pick out a gift for her. Mom, don't look at me. I can't say that. Besides, she might not have the time. Because seeing Tanggua last night had a huge impact on them. Rong-su was the same as Tanggua, he also wore a hat. In addition, his base camp was not in this city, so he rarely appeared. The Yun family might have seen him before, but there was not much interaction between the two sides, so they did not recognize him last night. Rong-su gave them the impression that he was a man who had a close relationship with Tanggua. They did not care about this anymore. Yun Zishu did not agree to call Tanggua, so in the end, this matter fell to Yun Zishan. Although Yun Zishan was a little helpless, he still dialed the number. Hello, who is this? Is this Xiaogua? I'm Yun Zishan. Sorry, I'm Sister Xiaogua's assistant. What can I do for you? Oh, is it convenient for her to borrow the phone now? I have some matters to discuss with her. That is, can we make an appointment to have a meal together? Tell her it's Yun Zishan, and she'll know. Mr. Yun, I'm really sorry. Sister Xiaogua's flight is at 9:00 tonight. She will be studying abroad for the next few months and will not return to China for the time being. Is there something urgent on Sir Yun's side? If it's really urgent, Sister Xiaogua will call you back when she comes over. In the end, Yun Zishan only said that if there wasn't anything important, he would look for her again. How is it? Mother Yun asked anxiously. Right now, she didn't feel good in her heart. She always felt that she owed Tanggua something. She's going abroad to study. Her flight is at 9 tonight. Like I said, she might not have the time to eat with bored people now. You just have to think that she can find time anytime, anywhere. Yun Zishu seemed to have vented his anger and was in a much better mood. However, just as he spoke, he was glared at by Yun Zimo. He did not care at all and buried his head in playing with his phone. He muttered, "You want to take all the good things. Dream on." Zishu, what are you saying? Yun Zimo frowned. Yun Zishu stood up and turned to go upstairs. In the future, if you want to look for Xiaogua, don't let me go. I still want to be siblings with her and don't want to be implicated by you. In my opinion, the person you cherish the most is Xiao Guo. It's better not to disturb Xiao Guo. It's not good for everyone. Yun Zishan's mocking made the others angry. Tang Guo was indeed studying abroad. Of course, part of the reason was that she did not want to meet the Yun family. Chapter 2550. Ever since they met yesterday, there was no need for them to maintain their previous relationship. From this day onwards, she would not send them any more messages on holidays. The Yun family did not notice at first. Later, they realized that they could no longer receive that warm message on some important holidays. For a moment, they felt lost. 5 months later, Tang Guo returned from her studies. At the same time, she had accepted a new drama. There was no suitable movie script, so she chose a good television script. As expected, it was still the female lead. When the fans found out that she had finally accepted a new drama, they were so happy that they were about to fly. They were really the most pitiful fans. The treasure actress they were fans of did not participate in any activities. She even went abroad to study for 5 months. She did not release any announcements and disappeared for 5 months. If it were any other actor or celebrity, they would have died long ago. But she was different. Even though she had disappeared for 5 months, the internet was still talking about her. In addition, the drama a few months ago had set a new high in ratings. Until now, there were countless television stations repeating it. On the internet, there were also many blockbusters, returning to all the dramas she had acted in before. When Tang Guo returned this time, she immediately plunged into the production team and started filming. Actually, she had gotten the script for that drama long ago. When she was abroad, she had flipped through the scripts several times. The fans who had planned to wait for Tang Guo at the airport still left in disappointment. They could not wait at all. Brother Rong, it's good to be rich. Rong Su was a little surprised when he heard Tang Guo say this on the phone. Why? Are you short of money recently? There's a lot of money in the card I gave you. You don't have to save it. Spend it if you want. It doesn't matter if you spend it all. I'm working hard to earn it every day. No, I haven't spent it yet. I gave it to you to spend. Don't save it. It's easy to mold. The money in the card is waiting for Xiao Guo. I don't have time to spend it. When I'm on vacation, let's visit them together. Tang Guo was in her costume, and her assistant held her phone to her ear. She was reading the script with notes in her hand. She smiled and said to Rong Su, "What I mean is, if Brother Rong hadn't arranged a private jet for me, I would have been surrounded by many people. That's why I said it's good to be rich." The reason why the fans could not stop Tang Guo every time was because Rong Su had spent a lot of money. Every time, no matter where she went, he would arrange a private plane for her to pick her up. "I'll come to see you in 2 days. The company has been a little busy recently. I'll wait for you." Rong Su's heart was madly sweet. Every time she said that she would wait for him, it made him want to fly to her immediately. "What do you want to eat? I'll bring it over. I want to eat the peanut pig trotters stewed by Brother Rong himself." "All right, I'll bring it to you in a few days. When the time comes, I'll pick out fresh pig trotters early in the morning and stew them for you." When Rong Su spoke, he did not notice that his assistant's mouth was about to go crooked. "President Rong, please be careful. You're a domineering president, not a house husband. Is it really okay to discuss buying fresh pig trotters in the office?" After Tang Guo hung up the phone, she found that her assistant and a few small actors were looking at her with speechless expressions. TSK, TSK, TSK. How annoying. The crew was filming, okay? Why did she say that she wanted to eat the peanut pig trotters stewed by her boyfriend? In the past few months, something else had happened. Chapter 2551. Because of a reality show, countless people were introduced to a cute girl called Yuni. This reality TV show about rural life in the 33 days completely made Yuni appear in front of the public. Currently, her fans on Weibo already numbered in the millions. Her fans gave her many labels: hardworking, able to endure hardships, sensible, humble, good at everything, and good-looking. Even though she had so many fans, Yoon Zishan did not let the PR team continue to hype her up. This was because he knew very well that apart from reality shows, Yuni did not have any other works. If she spent too much money on fame, it would easily have a negative impact on her. He wanted to make Yuni famous and not use her fame to gain benefits. He needed to do it step by step. Instead, for the sake of Yuni, he asked the production team to create hype for other artists. His Xiaoyi only needed to be quiet and maintain her own image. Yuni, who had already entered the eyes of the public, was currently on set. Yoon Zishan had accepted a script for her. It wasn't a big production, but a drama by this director was very reliable. She wasn't playing the main role, but the second female lead. But even so, her starting point was already something that many people could only dream of. While Yoon-yi was quietly filming, the other artists who participated in the reality show were still trending on the internet. Because of the reality show, they also received a lot of resources. Some of them were even cast as the female lead. Yoon-yi looked at the artist who liked to stand out and was often on the hot search list because she received a female lead role. She didn't care at all. She subconsciously searched for Tangua's Weibo and saw that Tangua already had more than 30 million fans. In just 5 months, Tangua's fans had increased by a few million. Although the speed of increase wasn't very fast, looking at the reposts, comments, and likes of every post, it was obvious that the quality of Tangua's fans on Weibo was very high. After closing Weibo, Yoon-yi held the script and read it seriously. The director looked at this quiet female artist and couldn't help but nod. She had a background, resources, talent, a good temper and didn't put on airs. If she wasn't famous, who would be? It wouldn't make sense if she wasn't famous. Time passed quickly. Tangua and Yoon-yi finished shooting their new dramas one after another. The broadcast time was not too far off, but judging from the response on the internet, netizens were more looking forward to the drama that Tangua acted in. After all, every movie that she had acted in was worth watching. To be chosen by Tangua, whether it was the script or the director, they were all top-notch. After the broadcast, the audience was not disappointed. Although Yoon-yi put in a lot of effort into her role and the director was also very serious about filming, there were a few issues with the other characters. As a result, the entire drama wasn't complete. The bad thing was that the quality of this drama could not be compared to the drama that Tangua had acted in. On the positive side, her role as the second female lead overshadowed the first female lead, causing the netizens to say, "This is the first female lead. What was this female lead acting for?" It was really ugly. With her acting skills and looks, she could actually be the female lead. It was really an eyesore. If it wasn't for Yoon-yi, I wouldn't have even clicked on the second female lead to watch this drama. Chapter 2552. Actually, this drama wasn't that bad. In fact, it was much better than most dramas in the past. It was just that they had been spoiled by Tangua's dramas in recent years and felt that this wasn't the case. Since it was a drama, there was bound to be a lot of comparisons. "Xiaoyi, you've already done very well. It's just that these actors aren't good enough. They've completely dragged you down. Next time, I'll pick a big production for you." "Okay, it's okay. I'll take it slow. Yoon-yi was quite satisfied with her performance. I've received quite a few scripts recently. Come and take a look tomorrow. See if there's anything you like, Yoon Zishan said. With your current situation, you can take on the female lead role. If there's nothing suitable, you can take on a few big commercials or variety shows to strengthen your popularity. Okay. Just as Yoon-yi was looking for her next script, Tang-guo received the Best Actress award for her role in last year's drama. Yoon-yi watched the replay. Tang-guo was still dressed to the nines to receive the award. She didn't even blink. When Mr. Wu saw this, he asked, Xiaoyi. Mr. Wu, second brother told me before that I can pick a script for the female lead role. Then I'll have to congratulate you. But, I want to immerse myself in it for a while. I won't take on any dramas for now. I'll listen to second brother and shoot a few commercials first. When I'm ready, I'll pick a good script. It would be best if I can pick a movie script. When Tang-guo received the Best Actress award, she received Yoon Zishu's blessings. As for what happened before, neither of them mentioned it. But Yoon Zishu knew that Tang-guo wouldn't treat the Yoon family the same way as before. Every time he thought of this, he would sigh in his heart, feeling helpless and helpless. Not long after this incident, Tang-guo received a phone call from a famous director. He said that he was planning a movie for the next year. The initial script had already been finalized. If she was interested, he could show it to her first. Director Chio's movies have always been good. Of course I'm interested. Then I'll get someone to send the script to you. You can take a look first. If there are no problems, then the female lead role next year will be yours, Chio Ligay said happily. Everyone could see Tang-guo's potential. All right. Within 2 days, Tang-guo received the script. Although it wasn't perfect, she was still interested in it. She called Chio Ligay back and said that she was interested in the role and was willing to play the female lead. Because the movie was scheduled to be filmed next year, there were still many areas that had not been perfected, so the two parties decided to sign the contract next year. It was Chinese New Year again. Ever since Tang-guo passed her exams, she had not been home for Chinese New Year. Tang Lin also came to her place for the New Year every year. The two elders of the Rong family had already passed away. Now, only Rong Su was left, so Rong Su spent the New Year with Tang-guo. Cui Taixin did not want to spend the New Year with that family. After eating the necessary meal that day, he sneaked over to Tang-guo's place. Sigh, future auntie's place is still the best. Cui Taixin's expression was somewhat bitter. She was clearly younger than him, but she had become his teacher and his aunt. He was really pitiful. Of course my sister's place is good. Brother-in-law's cooking is the best. Tang Lin praised with a smile. He saw Tang-guo standing in the kitchen, ready to help. Rong Su pushed her out and asked her to serve the dishes. He was quite satisfied. I didn't know uncle was so capable before. Cui Taixin was a little jealous. In the past, when uncle and I were at home, he didn't know how to cook. When I was hungry, he would throw me a bowl of instant noodles. My sister is different. Yes, it's different. This New Year, the four of them were very happy. Not long after the New Year, Chio Ligay called Tang-guo and said that he would make an appointment to sign the contract in a few days. However, only a day later, Chio Ligay called Tang-guo again and said a lot of apologetic words. In short, there was a more suitable person for the role of the female lead. What's wrong? Tang-guo shook her head and said to Chio Ligay on the phone, it doesn't matter. Since Director Chio has found a more suitable person, it means that we are not fated. Then let's work together next time. Tang-guo smiled. If there is a next time, Director Chio, please sign the contract earlier. Chiolage heard Tangua's unfriendly tone and smiled embarrassedly. He did not dare to say anything else. At this point, everyone understood what was going on. The other party did not ask why, but he did not want to really fall out with her. Xiaogua, what happened? Someone intercepted. How about? Rong Su was a little angry. Tangua continued, forget it, we didn't sign the contract. It's useless to blow this matter up. Coincidentally, I'm not very satisfied with the movie script. Tangua smiled and took out her phone. She dialed another number. Director Ran, are you free? Chapter 2553. After receiving Tangua's call, Ran Shu hurriedly brought his wife to Tangua's house. The first thing he said when he entered the house was, you said that you have a good script. Is that true? If Tangua said that the script was good, it must be very good. Tangua had called him to tell him that the ownership of the script was either hers or her friend's. Maybe she had bought it. Moreover, she wanted him to direct the movie. Ran Shu was looking forward to it. It had been almost a year since he had found a script that suited him. The last time he worked with Tangua was a few years ago. Now, he was looking forward to it. Yes, I have a good script, but the theme doesn't match your style. I think that the script is very good. If you're interested, you can give it a try. If you succeed, it's not impossible for you to step onto the international stage with this movie. Hearing this, Ran Shu was shocked. What kind of script could make Tangua dare to say such big words? The international stage. Although their country had a long history and culture, there was still a gap between them and many countries in the world. Because of this, even if the people in their country thought that the movie was good, the people in other countries didn't appreciate it at all. They didn't even agree with the culture and couldn't resonate with it. What kind of script makes you so confident? Ran Shu didn't think that Tangua was lying. His heart was pounding. His mind was full of thoughts. What kind of script was so good that she didn't take it out for him to see? Mrs. Ran pinched him, making him come back to his senses. Why don't you take it out for me to see first? Before Ran Shu came, Tangua had taken the script down. It wasn't printed on paper. Because it involved too much content, it was still in her laptop. She turned on the laptop. Mrs. Ran quickly made room for Tangua. Director Ran, the theme of this movie is the origin of the interstellar world. The origin of the interstellar world. Ran Shu was stunned. The interstellar world had always existed in the imagination of humans. In the imagination of humans, it was a high-tech world with a whole planet. It was also a world where the ancient civilization hadn't fallen behind. After the disaster, the resources of the world had been reorganized. The rise of a civilization represented the fall of another civilization. Just this theme alone had piqued Ran Shu's interest. If it was the origin of the interstellar world, and if there were no problems with the theme and filming, it could indeed be in line with international standards. Humans from all over the world could be well immersed in it and resonate with it. Director Ran, you can take your time now. Tangua pushed the notebook to Ran Shu so that he could read it himself. She had prepared for the theme of Interstellar from the very beginning. To her, this was simply within reach. According to the original owner's development, she had only just entered this industry. She, on the other hand, had just entered university when she started playing minor roles. Now, she had even won the Best Actress and Best Actress awards. She had been happy for a few years. Originally, she still guessed that it was not a coincidence that Yuni entered this industry. She had sped up her progress for several years. Yuni had not finished her studies and had also entered this industry. No matter what the other party's purpose was, in short, they were targeting her. Chapter 2554. The movie that Chiu Ligay asked her to film last year was a very good youth literary film. Once this kind of film resonated with the audience, the response and reputation would be very good. Moreover, it was quite easy to win awards. The only bad thing was that the theme was niche. It was easy to win domestic awards, but not international awards. However, the theme of the origin world of Interstellar was different. Several of her friends in the group were from the interstellar world, and their statuses were not low. She had thought about it and decided to make a big one. She asked them for a lot of information about the origin of Interstellar and planned to write a script based on this information. If she hadn't been intercepted before, she wouldn't take it out for the time being. She would take it out when someone else intercepted it. If it was a movie, she would take out the script directly. If it was a TV series, it would be even easier. There were countless movie scripts in the country. As long as they were willing to spend money, they would definitely be able to shoot a high-quality TV series. There was nothing to worry about at all. Ran Shu was reading the script seriously. He was completely immersed in it. Not only was there a complete script written by Tang Guo on the computer, but there were also all kinds of information about the origin of Interstellar. Tang Guo thought that a script written by one person would always be lacking something. It was better for more people to complete it together. That would be more diverse and make the script more perfect. If Ran Shu looked at this information and had some inspiration, he could add this inspiration to make the script more perfect. That would be even better. It was just as Tang Guo thought. After flipping through a few pages, all kinds of new ideas appeared in Ran Shu's mind. Mrs. Ran saw him like that and quickly took out a notebook and pen from her handbag for him. This was a tacit understanding that had been formed over the years. Those who were familiar with the two of them knew that Mrs. Ran always had a notebook and 2 or 3 gel pens in her handbag. "Brother Rong, I have something to discuss with you." Rong Su was a little curious. "What is it? Is there anything I can help you with about this movie? If it's a schedule, I'll definitely schedule you first. In your schedule, other movies will stand aside. Brother Rong, aren't you afraid that others will have opinions about you doing this? How can others be more important than you?" Rong Su held Tang Guo's hand. "Isn't it right to support your girlfriend? I appreciate your kind intentions, Brother Rong. If there are no accidents, this movie won't be too bad. When the time comes, Brother Rong can just follow the rules of the cinema chain. If the box office sales continue to increase, then increase the schedule. If the box office sales are not good, then we should reduce the schedule." Seeing that Rong Su did not agree, Tang Guo continued, "You should have some confidence in me. Okay, I believe that Xiaoguo's movie will only have more screenings in the end." Rong Su compromised, but there was nothing wrong with having more screenings in the beginning, right? After all, he and Xiaoguo were both Best Actress and Best Actress, while Ran Shu was an outstanding director. "What did you say you wanted to discuss with me? Didn't you give me a card before?" "I plan to invest the money in this movie." Rong Su didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "This is for you. You can spend it however you want. Don't talk about investing in movies. You can use all of it to buy bags. 1 bag a day." Their voices were not soft, and all 4 people present heard them. Even Ran Shu and Mrs. Ran couldn't help but look up at them. Ran Shu seemed to feel Mrs. Ran's gaze. Chapter 2555. Ran Shu whispered, "Honey, you're in charge of our family's money. You can arrange it yourself. Although 1 a day might not be enough, 1 every 2 days or 3 to 5 days is not a problem. This script is very good. I'll discuss it with you later and invest some money in it. If we're going to make money, we'll all make money together. President Rong, Xiao Tang, right?" Mrs. Ran was amused and reasoned with Ran Shu. Hurry up and look. I'm not the 1,000-hand guanyin. Why would I need so many bags? Since you want to invest in this movie, just take the family's money. Aren't we superfluous? Cui Taixin sat far away. We're being abused everywhere. Tang Lin glanced at him. I'm different from you. Different? Do you have a little girlfriend? Tang Lin shook his head. No, you're a dog, I'm not. Cui Taixin thought, fuck. This kid really doesn't see blood when scolding people. Brother Rong, there's one more thing I need your help with. What is it? The post-production of this movie is very important. I remember that you have a film and television post-production company under your name, right? Indeed, but many domestic movies are reluctant to spend money on special effects. The money goes into the pockets of those big stars. So, the company is currently doing side business, doing some large-scale game special effects and cooperating with some foreign film companies. Rong Su understood what Tangua meant. I'll inform them about this. You guys should calculate the time and leave a gap for you to do the post-production special effects for your movie. Although Ran Shu was reading the script seriously, he was also listening to Tangua. Although he looked very calm on the surface, he was actually very excited. He had a script, an excellent actor, and an excellent director. Oh, he also had an investor. Now, he even had a top-notch film and television post-production company. The investors were him, Tangua, and Rong Su. Then, he could casually pull two familiar people over to make money. Tangua didn't even want a salary. No matter how he thought about it, it was a good deal. Ran Shu narrowed his eyes and looked at the laptop in front of him. He couldn't take his eyes off it. Soon, Ran Shu and Tangua expressed that they had new ideas about the script that she had written alone. Tangua said that they could continue to improve it together. Ran Shu was so happy that he stayed with Mrs. Ran that day. They discussed the script with Tangua day and night. The people who took care of them were naturally Rong Su and Mrs. Ran. A week later, the script was completed. Ran Shu took the USB and held Mrs. Ran's hand. He looked a little embarrassed, but it still couldn't hide the light in his eyes. As for Yun Yi, when she found out that Yun Zishan had given her the role of the female lead in a youthful literary film and received the script, she had been mulling it over. When the teacher named Wu found out that Yun Zishan had gotten this movie for Yun Yi, he was also a little surprised. It's actually director Chio's movie. I heard last year that director Chio was planning a movie. Previously, I heard that the female lead he chose wasn't. Although Mr. Wu stopped talking in time, Yun Yi still caught on. Has the female lead already been chosen for this movie? That's what I heard. But at the time, the script wasn't perfect, so the contract hadn't been signed yet. Mr. Wu knew that what he said was wrong, but since he had already said it, he might as well say it. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.